advocates and others to rise to honor our judges and other dignitaries.
to all. We will start this program with Amrita's words and I request all to rise.
சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமித திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனனும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் வழக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனகே தமிழனகே உன் சீரிலமை சிறப்பியந்து செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Now I request Mr. P.S. Samaraj, Chairman of the Bar Council, to welcome the gathering. Please, sir, and I request all to take your respective seats.
Honorable Dr. Justice G. Jayachandran, Honorable Mr. Justice N. Anand Venkatesh, Judge of the Madras High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice B. N. Prakash, former Judge of the High Court of Madras, Honorable Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, former Judge of the High Court of Bombay, Mr. S. Prabhakar, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. Srinivasan, Publisher, Mrs. Honorable Mrs. Justice Hemalata, Judge Madras High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice K. L. Basha, former Judge of Madras High Court, Honorable District Judges, President Secretaries of the respective associations, Senior Advocates and other dignitaries, members of the legal fraternity, good evening to all. As a Chairman Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, I am honored to extend a warm welcome to each and everyone gathered here for this auspicious book release function. This book, I must say this, authored by the esteemed Honorable Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, former Judge of the Bombay High Court, written in English, translated into Tamil, and the same is being released today. It is our culture to welcome the gatherings in the language known to the chief guest, and hence I continue in English. The title, I must say this, may leave many wondering about the inspiration behind it. However, upon deeper reflection, particularly on the life journeys of legal luminaries who have significantly influenced our constitutional framework, including honorable judges, eminent jurists and lawyers, we come to understand that each and of these remarkable individuals carries untold story within them. Despite this, only few have to share their adventurous journeys with their wider audience. It is my hope that many more such books will be published, serving as source of inspiration for countless others. The remarkable book is not just a mere collection of anecdotes and singular theme. Rather, it serves as a profound reflection of the unparalleled dedication, fearlessness, and the impartially exemplified by the Honorable Judge throughout her illustrious judicial career. It delves into the profound challenges she faced, including the prosecution of her husband, the renowned actor Mr. Ramesh Bhatkar, for a grave offense. Despite this adversities, the Honorable Judge navigated through legal and social complexities with unwavering adherence to the code of conduct prescribed by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Honorable Mr. Justice Mridula Bhatkar embarked on her legal journey in 1982 as an advocate, and her exemplary service led to her appointment as a judicial officer in the district court in 1993. In 2009, her dedication and competence were duly recognized with their elevation to the esteemed position of Judge of the Bombay High Court. Notably, her tenure included presiding over the trial of the Jolgion rape cases in 1994, a landmark cases involving human trafficking, rape and sexual offences in Maharashtra, Additionally, she handled several other high-profile cases, including the Mumbai bomb blast case and the Sahara case, with remarkable efficiency and integrity despite facing unprecedented threats and pressures. In 2007, the resolve was put the ultimate test when a criminal case was registered against as well under Section 376 of the Indian Penal Code. The ensuing public scrutiny and derogatory remarks prompted the Honorable Judge and her husband to contemplate drastic measures. However, a timely call from the Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chanchud, the Chief Justice of India, acknowledging her judicial acumen and offering words of encouragement, provided the much-needed impetus to persevere through the challenges. Eventually, her husband was acquitted of all charges, affirming their unwavering commitment to justice and righteousness. Furthermore, a poignant excerpt from the book resonates deeply. There is a struggle for rendering justice and a struggle for getting justice. In Tamil, தீர்ப்பு வழங்குவதற்கும் போராட்டம், தீர்ப்பு பெறுவதற்கும் போராட்டம். There are many women judicial officers at present serving as a judicial post throughout the country. It is imperative that this book reaches each and every one of them, which would allow them to imbibe the qualities of the Honorable Judge. At this juncture, I extend a fervent plea to the Honorable Judge to continue sharing her invaluable insights and experiences through the written word, as each publication serves to enrich the enlightened readers indeed. The Honorable Judge epitomizes the very essence of the visionary ideals envisioned by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Her life story serves as a profound testament and beacon an inspiration of the judicial officers, using them to remain steadfast in their commitment to upholding justice impartially, despite facing formidable pressures. Let us draw inspiration from their exemplary journey as we strive to uphold the principle of justice and the equality of in our noble pursuit. I wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Mrs. Justice Mr. Mridula Bhatkar, former Judge of the Bombay High Court. I also welcome Honorable Dr. Justice G. Jayachandran, Judge of the Madras High Court. I welcome Honorable Mrs. Justice N. Anand Vendes, Judge of the Madras High Court, for gracing this occasion with their esteemed presence. I welcome the Honorable Justice P.N. Prakash, former Judge of the Madras High Court. I welcome the Honorable Mrs. Justice Herlada, Judge of the Madras High Court. I welcome Justice P.M. K. Basha, former Judge of the Madras High Court. I welcome all the district judges, all the president secretaries, and other senior advocates. I welcome. At this moment, it is imperative to acknowledge the exemplary judicial activism demonstrated by the esteemed Honorable Judges, Justice G. Jayachandran, Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Vendes, and Honorable Mr. Justice P.N. Prakash, their unwavering commitment to proactive interpretation and application of the law, especially in addressing societal issues and promoting justice, stands as a beacon of inspiration. They have fearlessly wielded their decision-making authority within the hallowed halls of justice, undeterred by external noise of distraction. We are truly blessed to release the book in the august presence of these distinguished jurists, whose tireless efforts have contributed immensely to the advancement of justice and the rule of law. Furthermore, I express my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Mr. Justice P.N. Prakash, former Judge of the Madras High Court, for his invaluable contribution in translating the book into Tamil, along with Mr. D.D. Chakravarti, Senior Civil Judge, Tamil Nadu State Judicial Service, for their commendable efforts. I also welcome Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, and Mr. Srinivasan, Officer, and all other dignitaries. Once again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you, and I am confident that is the event will be both enriched in the memorable. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This is the time to honor the guest, and I request Mr. Srinivasan, Alliance Publisher, who is going to honor the guest one by one. Now he is going to honor Mr. Dr. Justice G. Jayachandran, Judge, High Court of Madras. Please, Lordships.
சைடில் போயிருக்காங்க சைடில்.
Thank you, Lordships. Now I request the publisher to honor Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, Judge of the High Court of Madras. Please, Lordships. Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Mr. Publisher to honor our Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, who is the Chief Guest here, the former Judge of the Bombay High Court. Thank you, Lordship. Now I request Mr. Srinivasan to honor our Honorable Mr. Justice P.N. Prakash, former Judge of the High Court of Madras. Thank you, Lordship. Now Mr. Srinivasan is honoring Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate and Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India. Thank you, sir. Now Mr. Srinivasan is honoring Mr. P.S. Amarnath, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. P. Chakravarti, Senior Civil Judge, to come to the dais to have his honor. Now I request Mr. K. Sukumaran, who wrote the foreword of the book, to come and take his thoughts. Thank you, sir. This is the time we are expecting for a long time to release of the book. Now I request Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, former Judge of the Bombay High Court, who has written the book in English and translated in Tamil, Mr. P.N. Prakash and Mr. P.D. Chakravarti. I request all to rise and applause because the great book written by Mr. Mridula Bhatkar. Now this is the time for felicitations. First of all, I request Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, to felicitate this occasion.
Honorable Mr. Justice G. Jayathan, Judge High Court of Madras, Honorable Mr. Justice Honorable Venkatesh, Judge High Court of Madras, Honorable Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, former Judge High Court of Bombay, Honorable Mr. Justice P.N. Prakash, former Judge High Court of Madras, my esteemed friend Mr. P.S. Samaraj, Chairman of this Council, Honorable Mr. Justice Mr. K. Basha, Honorable Mrs. Justice Kamilata, the Presidents of the various associations, Mr. Selvraj, the Vice President Mr. Ajay, Mr. Bhaskar, Tamil Nadu Advocate Association, Mr. Bhaskar, President of the Madras Bar Association, respected dignitaries, respected district judges of this court, and my esteemed friends, ladies and gentlemen. I start by quoting the words of an American scholar, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, and I quote, "If we encounter a man of rare intellect, we should ask him what book he reads." Unquote. I would say our Honorable Justice P.N. Prakash is such a man of rare intellect, and today he introduces the book which we as lawyers must cherish. First of all, we all must thank our beloved Honorable Justice P.N. Prakash for translating the meticulous, drafted masterpiece of for us in our Tamil language. It is because of him we are being introduced to such a masterpiece, which will surely strike the deeper thoughts of the members of the bar. Our Lord Justice P.N. Prakash does not require any introduction. His Lordship was one of the most celebrated judges of this Chartered High Court. And His Lordship, still in this High Court, has seen remarkable changes in the dispensation system, especially in criminal jurisprudence. We all know that our Lordship is an ardent reader. Your Lordship recommended your book. I would say it must here we must read. But now he has translated a book and not a must read, but it is a curriculum for our members of the bar. The book titled in English as I Must Say This and translated in Tamil Idai Naan Kuriyaga Vendum is being released today before this August gathering in the presence of the Honorable Justice G. Jayachandran, the Honorable Justice Anand Venkatesh, which is another highlight for today's event. With the two legal luminaries with us, I feel that this day cannot be made any more special than this. What would be the best way to release the book than this? When I was handed over the book, the copy of the book I saw the forward written by the Honorable Justice Jayachandran. And when I read that, I understood that the nuances of this book and what this book really conveys to the society. His Lordship rightly said that for the people who faces false allegations, honesty and patience are the right weapon, and to concur with our Lordship's view that for a person who faces false allegations, these two weapons will always stand by him to prove his innocence, and no one can override the truth. And I would like to add that it is we, the lawyers, who has to advocate for their innocence, and we have to duty towards it. The Honorable Justice, Mrs. Justice Mridula Bhatkar, was one of the renowned judges of the Bombay High Court, and her Lordship has explained the feelings and trauma and one who undergo in such a situations, and Justice Bhatkar has expressed his feeling through words, and she brings those emotions in the eyes of the readers. Her Lordship through these books brings the hardship, the turmoil faced by the judicial officers from both the public media and as well as from the society in such circumstances where near and dear wants to face such allegations. We must also appreciate our Lordship's courage and bravery for being a woman judge, facing and battling against all the hardships. That's true. Wherever own husband is falsely implicated in such allegations, but still carried on all judicial works and administered justice even during such time, it is not that easy for anyone to face such a situation, especially when they are in such a position in the limelight. As a reader, we can understand how harsh it would be to receive an information that her husband was implicated in such a false allegations during the 29th wedding anniversary. I take this opportunity to appreciate Honorable Justice Mridula Bhatkar, strong mind, courage and willpower with which she overcome these tough situations. Our Lordship Justice, Honorable Justice Prakash and the respected Judge Chakravarti has done a fabulous job of translating this masterpiece for us. It is not that easy to put the same emotion which the author brought in her original words, but here our Lordships have conveyed the emotions to the readers the same way the author expected to. I have to say that this book is being released at the right hour as we are able to witness and increasing the trend in a false sexual allegations. As several cases, sexual allegations ends up in getting quashed or discharged. This book addresses concerns where a person who was a renowned personality, a public figure in media industry, being falsely implicated in a sexual allegation, complained that the complaint gets exaggerated by the media and its related consequences and how these happenings affects the minds of the accused and his family members. Friends, I feel it is high time that we will all understand the concept of the victimology and criminology, and this book with its narration shows the struggles and hardships faced by the family of such innocent persons, and especially when a family member is in the highest constitutional post. But at the same time, it is my duty to mention here, I appreciate the judicial system. Why I am saying this? I have handled a number of cases, particularly the compulsory voluntary retirement, particularly in the judicial system. If any incident happens, even the district judges, immediately the compulsory retirement is given. When we are challenging it up to Supreme Court. But if any person is facing this type of issues, whether will it get the same situation, I do not know. The Honorable Justice P.N. Prakash, the Honorable Justice Honorable Venkatesh, the Honorable Justice Jayachandran has to think it over. The members of the bar, in the same circumstances, we are facing a lot of problems. The opening of our letters of the book would clearly convey what would be the mindset of the accused who is being implicated. Our Lordship, the Bhatkar has expressed in a stronger sense through her words where readers will be able to understand the feelings in the minds of who faces such allegations at the time. The book actually reminds us for that criminal jurisprudence runs on the principle presumption of innocence. And this presumption is the backbone of the criminal jurisprudence. In our country, why this becomes so relevant now is that because these days as a member of the bar, we are able to see lots of cases with the sexual harassment allegations, and especially these cases are being registered under the special enactments. When these cases are being taken up for trial or when if there is an instance of bail, I feel that these principles of innocence, it lost. It may be because of the statutory restrictions, but it is also because of the fact that there is some societal pressure in these type of cases. That is the external influences like media or views of thoughts of the public. I feel these are one of the reasons why bails are being denied in the lower judiciary at the grassroots, which ultimately leads to filing of the cases before the constitutional courts. Indeed, the statutory restrictions are to protect the victims and to bring the accused to justice. But sometimes these special enactments itself is being misused by a few for their own specific personal agendas. And I feel it is the onus upon us as a lawyer and members of this judiciary to see that these special enactments are used in the right way as expected by its drafters. I would like to remind all of us that we as a lawyer should not be carried away in the societal thoughts or views of the media or views of the society. It is important that we have to see what is the case and material available in the case. As I said earlier, it is the duty of the lawyers to assist the court with all possible manner so that ultimate justice is served. With I conclude by quoting Tirukural, the universal book, ஓர்ந்து கண் நோடா திரை புரிந்து யார் மாட்டும் தேர்ந்து செய்வதே முறை. It means a complete justice is achieved when investigating intentionally, leading fairly, without undue favor, by analyzing and acting in the right manner. These would constitute ultimate justice. With that being said, I thank all the dignitaries the opportunity has given to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Mr. Justice P.N. Prakash, former Judge of the High Court of Madras, for illustrating this occasion. Please worship.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Like you all, I am also eagerly waiting to listen to my sister Bhatkar. We have brought her all the way here, but I am only going to say about how this translation happened. I happened to get this is but they are vulnerable to everything. So I thought that this book should be translated to Tamil so that it reaches all my district judges, municipals, magistrates. So I established contact with you, called you over phone, introduced myself to you, and asked you your permission to translate it to Tamil. You, without batting an eyelid, you said, brother, please do it, you said. That it was very free Tamil. So I thought that I shouldn't have the assistance of someone. The only person I could think of was Chakravarti, the visually talented judge of the Tamil Nadu Judiciary, who has translated the Criminal Rules of Practice 2019 into Tamil, which is the official version. So Chakravarti and I decided to translate this, and after completing the translation, I sent it to Mr. K. Sukumaran of Kumbakonam, who teaches poor children to come to crack the judicial examination. And I sent it to him for corrections. He did some corrections and sent it back to me with a foreword. Then once I get to my friend Jayachandran, who also went through the draft and gave a foreword. So with these two forewords, I was just wanting how to find out a publisher for this book. The publisher that came to my mind was Alliance Publishing House. Alliance Publishing House is a 100 years publishing house which has published books of Subhash Chandra Bose, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Mahakavi Subramania Bharatiya's, all the work they have published. In fact, their grandfather is a very close friend of Subhash Bose, and I have seen letters written by Subhash. Subhash will write, Subhash he will write. That signature letters are there with him. So when I gave the draft to him, he went through the draft, made it more easier for a thing because they are publishers, they have their own translators and they have done it. And he told me one thing, sir, we will publish this at a very reasonable cost so that it reaches the lawyer communities, they are able to buy it and read it. So he said, I will price it at 200 rupees, though the English version is 350 rupees. So at that cost, he published it. After the book came as an identical to the English version, how to go about releasing the book. When I met Prabhakaran and Amarraj, they grabbed the opportunity and said, sir, Bar Council will release this book. Bar Council, the duty of Bar, because both of them went through the few pages and said, sir, nothing doing. We are going to release it at our cost. Thank you, Amarraj and Prabhakaran. Then I was thinking, who should be called to release a book? Bhatkar is the only person who has to be called. So when I called her and told her, sister, I want you to come to Chennai. I'll send you the flight tickets. She said, nothing doing. I am coming to Chennai at my cost and I am doing it. What is this, brother? She said. and today she has come. These are the books, I always used to think that this book and the book by Nambi Narayanan, the ISRO scientist, these two books have really touched me because these are the books where, you may be in a powerful position in an administrative setup or a judicial setup, but the criminal justice system is, as pointed out by Mr. Prabhakaran, we are all vulnerable. We are terribly vulnerable in the system. And the system would make anyone, an innocent person, guilty. So somewhere, the system has to be, we have to address the system as lawyers. And we have a duty to see, because after my retirement, I think I told in my retirement speech that I'm not going to take up any tribunal work or anything, and I'm going to work for teaching law college students and working for the upliftment of prisoners. During my work with Mr. Ravi Kumar Paul, senior advocate in the prisons, I found that only the marginalized section of the people are in the prisons. Poor people, Dalits, they are all getting caught in the web of law. But what happened to the rich people? Why aren't they not committing crimes at all, is it? Only cell phone snatchers and chain snatchers are found inside the prison, is it? So these were the questions that I asked myself, as Krishna very beautifully pointed out. The judiciary barks at everyone, but bites only the poor. Judiciary barks at everyone, but bites only the poor. So this is where I asked this question to myself. If this could happen to a person like Bhatkar, if this could happen to scientists like Nambi Narayanan, what would happen to you and me? Therefore, my dear friends, what I suggest is, please buy this book. Form some study circles, whether MHA or MBA or WLA or wherever it is. Sit down, read this book, find out how this system could be repaired, because as Dr. Ambedkar pointed out, on the floor of the assembly, he said, till today, you had somebody to blame, the British. But today, you have no one to blame but yourself for something going wrong. There is no point in, because Dr. Ambedkar was very prescient. He knew that till 1915 or 1947, we can blame the British for everything. After 15 August 1947, we have no business to blame the British. So we have walked much, 74 years we have walked. Still, our people are vulnerable. There is something wrong in the system. New CRPC, IPC not going to come. I do not know what it is going to do. But somewhere, we lawyers, as pointed out by Mr. Prabhakaran, have a duty to see that we discuss these issues, openly discuss these issues, and find out a solution for our people. Only then I think this, whatever little work we have done will be of great use. With this, I thank you, Mrs. Bhatkar, for giving me this opportunity, and I thank everyone here who have come here to raise this occasion. And ultimately, Bharatiyar சொன்னது இச்சகத்தில் உள்ளோரெல்லாம் எதிர்த்து நின்ற போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை 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 துச்சமாக எண்ணி நம்மை எதிர்த்து செய்த போதிலும் the amount she suffered, relatives abandoned her when her husband was caught. அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை she stood. Sister, I will translate this in English to you afterwards. All right. So thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, Judge of the High Court of Madras, to say a few words and felicitate the occasion.
Good evening to the dignitaries on of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, my dear young advocates. To start with, I have to say that I feel proud to be part of this gathering and to be in the presence of such a brave lady. I had the opportunity of getting the book from her, signed by her. I got the autograph of Justice Mridula Bhatkar 1 year before, when we were attending a conference in Madurai. So I read that book on my way from Madurai to Chennai in the flight. I completed the book. Meaning it was like, I won't say that it's a sad story, but I would say that it's a reflection of a system that is prevalent in this country. Please look at the situation. The situation is this. The situation is that she had a husband who is a very famous artist, who is known well, and she was somebody who was coming up from the district judiciary, and a false case is foisted against him as if he had committed a sexual assault on a girl who is allegedly had approached for getting an act, for getting a role in a cinema, and this man had hardly met her once for some time, and then this case is foisted against him, and this is the scenario. This scenario is exaggerated by the media, and the media starts, as you all know, there is a parallel trial that is going on, and there is a interview taken from this girl, and it's like the victim is tutored by somebody, and who tutors her, nobody knows. It is anonymous. Nobody was able to. And that was a time where you didn't have these ubiquitous mobile phones and all that. Luckily, she escaped. That was a time where you had newspapers and some had mobile phones with them. If it had happened today, I do not know what impact it would have created. Surely she would not have become a High Court judge. To that extent, I can assure you. So that is the situation they were facing. And the judges in the subordinate, in the district judiciary, if they are honest, they are clean, and they are fearless, then the agencies engage in tactics like this. If you do that, then there are ways and means in which you will be handled, and that's the way they handled Justice Mridula Bhatkar, who was handling a very sensitive issue, namely the rape case which Mr. Prabhakaran was mentioned. After all this happens, this is one place where I almost shed tears. Regularly, the wife and husband used to go for a walk in the morning, and her predicament was that whether I should take my husband for a walk. She was a sitting judge. She was at that time in the district judiciary, and everybody knew about this because the media had sort of exaggerated the whole thing, and she took a decision that I will walk with him. And you know what she writes? I was not walking with Ramesh, but I was walking with the truth. Is what she says in that book. So others were looking at them like aliens, but she was holding her head high and walking with her husband. So that's one part of that book, one portion in that book which sort of shook me. And I questioned myself as to whether I would have done that. I don't know. I really don't know. So for that, she quotes this famous story of the lioness and the ringmaster. That's a story which she quotes. So what happens is that on a particular day, the lion attacks the ringmaster. Somehow the ringmaster was able to wriggle out of it. The question is whether I have to handle this lioness the next day also in the circus. The ringmaster, everybody advises, like how everybody advised her that you should not go with your husband, you should not do this and that. Everybody advises the ringmaster that don't repeat it because the lion has attacked you yesterday. The ringmaster decided that he will handle the situation. The next day he handles the lioness in the same way and the lioness comes under the control. Same analogy she applied when she took her husband for a walk. And she says, I walked in the truth. And a stage came where both of them were not able to take it. Both were not able to take it and both decided to commit suicide. And that's the time when she gets a phone call from none other than our Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud. He calls her and he says that you are performing well, be ready to become a judge of the High Court. That call saved the life of Justice Bhatkar. call which she received from Honorable Justice Chandrachud saved her life. So, this interference into the work done by the judges who are handling such sensitive cases, and she was handling the Jalgaon sex scandal case. If you read the book, you will understand how difficult it is for the district judiciary, the trial judges to handle situations, because her own senior was appearing for the defense, and she was not able to say anything about it. And all those who were appearing for the defense were all known advocates to her. And at a particular point, at a particular juncture, the evidence of the chief examination of the victim was stopped. And they said that we'll continue thereafter. And that she never thought that there was a ploy behind it. The ploy was such that the victim became hostile thereafter. So again the allegation started flowing. She was called by the High Court. They told, how is it that you permitted your own senior to appear, etc., etc. So these are, what's important is, why is it that Justice P.N. Prakash and Mr. Chakravarti took this effort? The effort is because we are sitting in a pulpit in the High Court, and we keep passing all orders, we keep giving all directions, because we are provided with the security by the Constitution. We have the tenure security. Nobody can remove a High Court judge that easily. That's not the case with the district judiciary. So therefore, that is something which should be kept in mind. So this is a book that should not only be read by the advocates, by the judges in the district judiciary, but also by the High Court judges. They must know what problems are being faced by the district judiciary. So, and the swearing in ceremony, that's another place where I was again about to shed tears. The warrant came, and she had the rare opportunity of carrying her own warrant along with 3 others and handing it over to the registrar's letter. So the issue is whether the husband must come for a swearing. Look at the situation. And by then he had been discharged by the trial court, and it was pending by way of a revision before the Bombay High Court. 7 judges recused. Nobody was willing to take up that case. It was pending, it was hanging. So the sword was, Damocles sword was hanging over the head. Swearing in comes. Issue is, my dear husband, should he be called? Should he attend? Ultimately, on advice, he did not attend. It's such an important event in her life, but the husband was not able to attend that such an important swearing function. And the most beautiful thing which happens there is that at the time of reading the warrant, instead of uttering her name, they said Ramesh Bhatkar. So I think it's a poetic justice which actually happened for the truth for which she was fighting. It's very rare, no? It's not a slip of tongue. I think it's a poetic justice which took place at that point of time. Then the next important thing is wedding of her son. By then she is elevated as the High Court judge. Her son's wedding come. The issue is, should the husband be there? In photographs, where must he stand? If the judges come, how do you manage that photograph? My dear friends, I am telling you, this is not a simple thing. It's like, on the one hand, she was holding a position of fire, and on the other hand, she was facing these embarrassments about which you need a lot of steel to write. Who will write all these things? Please tell me. Nobody will be able to write it with so much of guts, and she writes all that. So the next issue is this wedding of her son. So how many judges must be invited? If the judges come, where will they stand in that photo shoot? Whether the husband must be there. So that has to be strategized. And as a result, many thought that she has become arrogant and she was not calling people. That also she writes in the book itself. So even after he was discharged from the case, this is very important. Even after he was discharged, where the revision was ultimately allowed by the Bombay High Court, dismissed by the Bombay High Court, judges were looking at Mridula as the wife of an accused. She was looked as the wife of an accused. So, Madam, you are a lady with steel spine, and may your pride increase, and my pranams to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Honorable Dr. Justice G. Jayachandran, Judge of the High Court, to felicitate the function. Please, Lordships.
Reading Madam Mridula Bhatkar, my brother Felicitation, Supreme Prakash, this is KLV, this is Mridula. My special thanks to Amarraj and Prabhakaran who have made this occasion a very memorable one. Madam, I am not going to repeat what you have written in your book. My friend Anand Venkatesh has narrated it. At one stage I had a fear that if he is going to tell all the things, the audience may not buy the book. Please, what he has narrated is just for your ears, but buy that book, read it, particularly judicial officers, please read it. It will give you the courage, though not the steel nerves as our madam inner, but at least to some extent we will get the courage and fearlessness. That's why forward I have extracted the poem of because that is the way in which judiciary has to function. Many of us do that. At times we are fallible and it is inevitable also. Today I accepted this invitation because I not only want to convey what is in this book because you
Yes, Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, Judge of the High Court of
to be part of this going on, and there is an interview taken from. And before that, I want to shift it to vernacular. Therefore, I thank Madam. You have given us a very good opportunity to provide an insight about how judiciary functions, because many of the lawyers or others, public may not know under what pressure, hot seat we are sitting, and how and why we sometimes behave erratically also. I don't justify my own conduct, but the fact is that sometimes we don't express what happens. We know that where threat comes, how threat comes, but we just like that. We take it to the sides and we go on. And your book, I must say this, is an excellent book which is the voice of many of the judiciary, many of the judges who are serving. We can't say it now, we are waiting for the opportunity, that's all. And after the advertisement, you have said it. These sort of incidents, many of the judges faces. Then, now I come to the very important thing which I want to convey. I don't know, please don't mistake if there is some sort of politics in it. It's not politics, it's my anguish. Please. In the புத்தகம் தமிழாக்கம் செய்யப்பட்ட விதம், இதற்காக நண்பர் P.N. பிரகாஷ் மற்றும் சக்கரவர்த்தி அவர்கள் பட்ட பாடு நான் அறிவேன். ஒரு அற்புதமான புத்தகம், உணர்ச்சி பிரபலமான ஒரு ஆங்கில புத்தகத்தை தமிழாக்கம் செய்வதற்கு சட்டம் சார்ந்த புத்தகமாக இருக்கிறது. ஆனால் அதை தமிழாக்கம் செய்வதற்கு சொற்கள் இல்லை. சொற்கள் இல்லை என்பதை விட தமிழில் சொற்கள் உள்ளன, ஆனால் அது அரிதாக போய்விட்டது. அதை புழக்கத்திலிருந்து ஒதுக்கிவிட்டார்கள், வைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. அந்த சொற்களை எல்லாம் தேடுவதற்கு படுகின்ற கஷ்டம் ஆட்கள் இல்லை. சக்கரவர்த்தி போன்ற சிலர் இருக்கிறார்கள், அவர்களுக்கு அங்கீகாரம் இல்லை. இதுதான் இன்றைக்கு பிரச்சனை. எங்கள் நீதிமன்றத்திலே நானும் அந்த வழக்கை பார்த்தேன், ஆனந்த் வெங்கடேஷ் அவர்களும் அந்த வழக்கை பார்த்தார்கள். அந்த வழக்கை பற்றி உங்களிடம் சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுகிறேன்.
ஒரு வழக்கறிஞர் நீதிமன்றத்தில், உயர் நீதிமன்றத்தில் தமிழ் மொழி இருக்க வேண்டும் என்பதற்காக நான் காலவரை உண்ணாவிரதம் இருக்க போகிறேன், எனக்கு அனுமதி மறுக்கப்பட்டது, அனுமதி தாருங்கள் என்று வந்தார். நான் சொன்னேன், காலவரையின்றி உண்ணாவிரதம் என்பது சட்டத்துக்கு விரோதமானது. அடையாள உண்ணாவிரதம் இருப்பதாக இருந்தால் நான் இந்த மனுவை விசாரிக்கிறேன். அதற்கு முன்னால் ஒரு விவரத்தை உங்களிடம் சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன். எது தமிழை நீதிமன்ற மொழியாக, உயர் நீதிமன்றத்தின் மொழியாக இல்லாமல் செய்கிறது என்ற விவரம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா? நல்ல சட்ட சொற்கள், ஒரு 10 சொற்கள் ஒவ்வொருவரும் கொண்டு வாருங்கள். நாளைக்கு ஒரு 20 வழக்கறிஞர் வந்தார்கள். அவர்களிடம் நான் என் ஆதங்கத்தை உங்களிடம் பகிர்ந்து கொள்கிறேன். ஒவ்வொருவரும் ஒரு 10 தமிழ் சட்ட சொற்களை கொண்டு வாருங்கள். நாளைக்கு உங்களுக்கு அனுமதி தருகிறேன். போனாங்க. அதற்கடுத்து நண்பர் ஆனந்த் வெங்கடேஷிடம் வந்தது, அவர் அனுமதி தந்தார், அது வேறு விஷயம். ஆனால் இந்த கேள்வி எது தடையாக இருப்பது என்று அறியாமல் இருக்கின்றோமே, அதுதான் இந்த வழக்கறிஞர் சமுதாயத்தை பார்த்து நான் கேட்க வேண்டிய கேள்வியாக இருக்கிறது. இன்றைக்கு நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு செய்தியை சொல்ல வேண்டும். ஐ மஸ்ட் சே திஸ். இந்த தலைப்பு இந்த புத்தகத்தினுடைய ஒரு கோயின்சிடென்டாக நினைக்கிறேன். 2007ஆம் ஆண்டு தமிழக சட்டமன்றத்திலே ஒரு தீர்மானம் ஏகமனதாக நிறைவேற்றப்பட்டது. சென்னை உயர் நீதிமன்றத்திலே தமிழ் மொழி ஆட்சி மொழியாக இருக்க வேண்டும். அதற்கு அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டமும் இருக்கிறது, ஆட்சி மொழி சட்டமும் அதற்கு உறுதுணையாக இருக்கிறது என்று தீர்மானத்தை நிறைவேற்றினார். அந்த தீர்மானத்தை நிறைவேற்றுவதற்கு சற்று வாரங்களுக்கு முன்பாக உயர் நீதிமன்ற நீதிபதியாக இருந்த ஏபி ஷா அவர்கள், கல்வி நீதிபதியாக இருந்த ஏபி ஷா அவர்கள் ஒரு கடிதம் எழுதினார் அரசாங்கத்திற்கு. தமிழை நீதிமன்ற மொழியாக மாற்றுவதற்கு எங்களுக்கு எந்த ஆட்சேபனையும் இல்லை. ஆனால் அதற்குரிய கட்டமைப்பு இல்லை, சரியான தமிழ் புத்தகங்கள் இல்லை, மொழிபெயர்ப்பாளர்கள் இல்லை, சுருக்கெழுத்தாளர்கள் இல்லை, டைப்ரைட்டர் கூட இல்லை. தயவு செய்து இதற்கெல்லாம் வசதி செய்து தந்துவிட்டு நீதிமன்றத்தில் தமிழை மொழியாக மாற்றுங்கள். அந்த கடிதத்தை பற்றியும் சட்டமன்றத்திலே விவாதிக்கப்பட்டது. ஏகமனதாக தீர்மானம் நிறைவேற்றப்பட்டது. இது 2007. பின்பு 7/4/2013 அனைத்தும் தலைமை நீதிபதிகள் மற்றும் முதலமைச்சர்கள் மாநாடு டெல்லியிலே நடந்தது. அப்பொழுது தமிழக அரசின் சார்பாக முதலமைச்சர் அவர்களால் செல்ல முடியவில்லை, சட்ட அமைச்சர் சென்றார். முதலமைச்சரின் செய்தியை சட்ட அமைச்சர் படித்தார். அதிலே ஒரு கோரிக்கை, எங்களுடைய சென்னை உயர் நீதிமன்றத்திலே தமிழ் ஆட்சி மொழியாக சட்டம் இயற்ற வேண்டும். அப்பொழுது குஜராத் முதலமைச்சராக இருந்த நரேந்திர மோடி அவர்கள் அதற்கு பின்பு பேசியவர் ஆதரித்து பேசினார். ஆமாம், அந்தந்த மாநிலங்களிலே அந்தந்த மாநில மொழிகள் ஆட்சி மொழியாக நீதிமன்ற மொழியாக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று பேசினார். மீண்டும் உச்ச நீதிமன்றத்திலிருந்து உயர் நீதிமன்றத்திற்கு ஒரு கடிதம், சென்னை உயர் நீதிமன்றத்திலே தமிழை மொழியாக ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளலாமா? ஃபுல் கோர்ட் என்று சொல்லப்படுகிற அனைத்து நீதிபதிகளும் உட்கார்ந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அப்பொழுது இந்த செய்தி, இந்த விஷயம் பேசப்பட்ட போது, இது 2014. அப்பொழுது நான் இந்த சட்ட நீதிமன்றத்துக்கு வந்திருக்கேன். 13 நான் அந்த மீட்டிங்கில் அணுகுறது நேரடியாக தெரியும். அப்பொழுது சட்ட அமைச்சர் திரு KP முனுசாமி அவர்கள், முதலமைச்சர் அம்மையார் ஜெயலலிதா அவர்கள் கொடுத்த உரையை அமைச்சர் வாசித்தார். அதை ஆதரித்து அன்றைய குஜராத் முதலமைச்சர் பேசினார். உயர் நீதிமன்றமும் உச்ச நீதிமன்றம் தயாராக இருந்தது. அவர்கள் எழுதிய கடிதத்திலே ஃபுல் கோர்ட்டில் இங்கே உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கும் போது மீண்டும் அதே கேள்வி எழுப்பப்பட்டது. தரமான தமிழ் சொற்கள் இருக்கிறதா? தமிழ் அகராதி இருக்கிறதா? அகரமுதலி இருக்கிறதா? தமிழ் சொற்களுக்கு, ஆங்கில சொற்களுக்கு இணையான தமிழ் சொற்களோ புத்தகங்களோ இருக்கிறதா என்றால் இல்லை. இது 2014. 2007 சட்டமன்றத்தில் தீர்மானம், 2013 அனைத்து முதலமைச்சர்களும் தலைமை நீதிபதிகளும் கொண்ட மாநாட்டிலே தீர்மானம் கோரிக்கை 2016 இங்கே வந்த பிறகும் இன்றைய வரையிலே இதற்கான முயற்சி ஆட்சியில் இருப்பவர்களோ தமிழர்கள் என்று சொல்பவர்களோ நாமோ யாருமே அந்த முயற்சி எடுக்கவில்லை. தயவு செய்து நீங்கள் ஒரு விஷயத்தை புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். ஒரு மொழி பலகையில் எழுதுவதால் மட்டும் காப்பாற்றப்படாது, புழக்கத்தில் இருக்க வேண்டும். அயர்லாந்திலே போராட்டம் நடந்து இங்கிலாந்து விடுத்துக் கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று போராட்டம் நடத்தினார். அப்பொழுது அயர்லாந்து ஐரிஷ் மொழியில் தான் பேச வேண்டும் என்று ஆங்காங்கே பலகைகள் வைத்தார்கள். ஆனால் அது ஆங்கிலத்தில் எழுதப்பட்டிருந்தது. இதுதான் தமிழ் வாழ்க என்று அரசு கட்டிடங்களில் எழுதினால் மட்டும் போதாது, நாம் பேசுகின்ற வழக்குகள். சாலமன் பாப்பையா பட்டிமன்றங்களிலே நன்றாக பேசினால் அருமை என்று சொல்லுவார். ஆனால் நம்முடைய டிவிகளில் எல்லாம் சூப்பர் சிங்கர், ஜோடி நம்பர் 1. ஏதாயிலும் தமிழ் இருக்கிறதா? தமிழ் தெருக்களிலே தமிழ் மொழியை காணும் என்று புலம்பினான் நன்று என்றால் இன்றைக்கும் அதே புலம்பல் இருக்கிறது. எப்படி நம்மால் தமிழை நீதிமன்ற மொழியாகவோ அல்லது காப்பாற்ற முடியும் என்று சற்று சிந்தித்து பாருங்கள். இது இந்த புத்தகம் மொத்தம் 200 பக்கம் கூட கிடையாது. இது சட்ட துறையில் பணியாற்றிய ஒருவரின் அனுபவத்தை எழுதுகிற புத்தகம். இந்த புத்தகத்தையே அதே உணர்ச்சி குறையாமல் மொழியிலே தமிழ் மொழி மொழிபெயர்க்க வேண்டும் என்கின்ற பொழுது பட்ட கஷ்டம் நீங்கள் சற்று யோசித்து பாருங்கள். உங்களிடம் நான் வைக்கின்ற ஒரே ஒரு கோரிக்கை தான், நீங்கள் எல்லாம் பார் அசோசியேஷன் இருக்கின்ற பார் கவுன்சில் மெம்பராக இருக்கின்றீர்கள். தயவு செய்து உங்களுடைய பார் அசோசியேஷனில் ஒரு பெட்டி வைக்கிறது. அந்த பெட்டியிலே வழக்கறிஞர்களிடம் உங்களுக்கு தெரிந்த ஆங்கிலத்துக்கு இணையான தமிழ் சொற்கள், நாங்கள் ஒரு சொல்லகராதி தயாரிக்கப் போகிறோம், சட்ட சொல்லகராதி தயாரிக்கப் போகிறோம். தயவு செய்து உங்களுக்கு தெரிந்த அல்லது அரிய தமிழ் மொழியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சொற்களை எல்லாம் எடுத்து எழுதி அதற்கு ஆங்கிலத்துக்கு உண்டான இணையான மொழிபெயர்ப்பு என்னவோ எடுத்து போடுங்கள். இதையெல்லாம் நாங்கள் எடுத்து கோர்த்து கோவையாக்கி புத்தகத்தை வெளியிடுகிறோம் என்று தயவு செய்து நீங்கள் என்னுடைய பங்காக 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய் ஆரம்பித்து தருகிறேன். அது இதை மூலமாக 2 வருடங்களிலே சென்னை நீதிமன்றத்திலே தமிழ் ஆட்சி மொழியாகும். ரத்தன்லாலுக்கு இணையாக சிபிசி இருக்கிறதா? இதோ எங்கள் சீமான் இவர்கள் எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள், தலைவர் இவர்கள் எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள், இந்த தமிழகத்திலே இந்த புத்தகத்தை எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள், பிரபாகரன் எழுதியிருக்கிறார் பாருங்கள், சட்டையில் என்று ஒவ்வொருத்தர் எழுதியிருக்கிறோம். அல்லது எங்கள் பார் கவுன்சிலில் நாங்கள் அனைத்திற்கும் புத்தகம் எழுதியிருக்கிறோம், பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பாக பிரசுரம் பயில பற்றி போட்டிருக்கிறோம் என்று புத்தகங்களை போட்டு சிபிசி, ஐபிசி, சிஆர்பிசி மற்றும் ஆர்பிட்ரேஷன் அத்தனைக்கும் நீங்கள் தமிழாக்கம் செய்து ஒரு புத்தகங்களை வெளியிடுகிறோம். யாராவது நம்மை கேட்க முடியுமா? புத்தகங்களிலேயே எப்படி நாங்கள் நீதிமன்றத்தை நடத்துவது கேட்க முடியுமா? இன்றைக்கு நமக்கு ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு வளம் இருக்கிறது. அதாவது செயற்கை நுண்ணறிவு என்று சொல்லப்படுகிற ஆர்டிபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ். நாம் செய்ய வேண்டியதெல்லாம் அருகி போன தமிழ் சொற்கள் அல்லது புது தமிழ் சொற்களை எல்லாம் கோர்த்து ஒரு சட்ட சொல்லாத அகரமுதிலேயே நாம் முதலில் உருவாக்கிவிட்டால் அதை கொண்டு மொழிபெயர்ப்பு என்பது இலகுவாகிவிடும். மொழிபெயர்ப்பு என்பது இலகுவாகிவிட்டால் தரமான புத்தகங்கள் அனைத்தும் இப்பொழுது எவிடன்ஸ் ஆக்ட் என்றால் வேப்பாசாரதி என்று சொன்னால் அந்த வேப்பாசாரதி புத்தகத்தை நம்ம தமிழில் மொழிபெயர்ப்பது என்பது எளிதாகிவிடும். இப்படி எல்லாம் புத்தகங்களை நாம் நம்முடைய பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பாகவே நாம் பதிவிக்கலாம். அப்படி செய்தால் நம்மை பார்த்து புத்தகங்கள் இல்லையே, தட்டெழுச்சிலேயே, மொழிபெயர்ப்பாளர்களே என்று சொல்வது காரணமே இல்லாமல் போய்விடும். எனவே நான் வேண்டுவது உங்களிடம் இதுதான், தயவு செய்து இதை தொடங்குங்கள், உடனடியாக தொடங்குங்கள். இந்த தமிழ் வருஷ பொறுப்புக்கே நீங்கள் தொடங்கலாம். அப்படி செய்தால் இது போன்ற புத்தகங்கள் இன்னும் அதிகம் இருக்கும். நான் மற்றொரு வழக்கையும் சொல்லிவிடுகிறேன் நிறைவாக. கடை வீதிகளில் இருக்கின்ற தெருக்களிலே கடைகளிலே இருக்கிற பெயர் பலகை, நான் மதுரையில் இருக்கிற ஒரு வழக்கு வந்தது. சட்டம் இருக்கிறது, பெயர் பலகையிலே தமிழ் இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று பலரும் எழுதவில்லை என்று சொன்னார். இப்பொழுதெல்லாம் நாம் சில நேரங்களிலே பார்க்கலாம், உருதில் கூட சில இடங்கள் எல்லாம் பெயர் பலகை இருக்கிறது. யார் படிக்கிறான் என்ன என்று தெரியுமா? தமிழில் எழுதினால் கூட யார் படிக்க போகிறான்? இல்லை என்றால் அப்படி எழுதியிருந்தால் தமிழ் மொழி வளரப் போகிறதா? கிடையாது. நான் ஒரே ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டேன், மிக சாதாரண ஒரு கேள்வி. இன்றைக்கு மிக அதிகமாக புழக்கத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு சொல், எல்லா அரசியல்வாதியும் பேசுறான். நான் கேட்டேன், நீங்க மாடல்னு ஒண்ணு சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா, அதுக்கு என்ன தமிழா? அதை முதல்ல சொல்லுங்க. நான் வேற ஒன்றும் கேட்கல, இது அரசியல் அல்ல, தயவுசெய்து தப்பா புரிஞ்சுக்காதீங்க. ஆதங்கம் போல அண்ண மான உரைய ஒப்ப படிவம் மாதிரி குழு என்றெல்லாம் பல தமிழ் சொற்கள் அதற்கு இணையாக இருக்கின்றது. ஆனால் 2.5 வருடமாக நான் கேட்ட கேள்விக்கு மட்டும் பதில் இல்லை. தமிழை அழிப்பதற்கு வடநாட்டால் வர வேண்டாம், மேலுலகத்திலிருந்து யாரும் வர மாட்டாங்க, இவர்களே போதும். பேசுங்கள் முதலில் தமிழ், புது புது வார்த்தைகளை கண்டுபிடிங்கள், இருக்கின்ற வார்த்தைகளை காப்பாற்றுங்கள். உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஆங்கில சொற்களை நீங்கள் பயன்படுத்துகிறீர்கள், ஆனால் அதற்கு இணையான தமிழ் சொற்களை உங்களால் சொல்ல முடியவில்லை. சொல்லுங்கள் என்று கேட்கிறோம், சொல்ல மாட்டேன் என்கிறீர்கள். தமிழை எப்படி வளர்க்க போகிறீர்கள்? தமிழை எப்படி காப்பாற்றப் போகிறீர்கள்? இதுதான் என் கேள்வி. சட்டங்கள் தமிழ் வேண்டும் என்றால் தயவு செய்து நீங்கள் எழுந்து நில்லுங்கள். நீங்கள் உங்களுடைய தமிழ் அறிவை, உங்களுடைய தமிழ் அறிஞர்களுடைய நட்பை பயன்படுத்துங்கள். 2 வருடங்களுக்கு தயவு செய்து தரமான சட்ட சொல் அகராதியை உருவாக்குங்கள். இந்த வழக்கு என்னிடம் வந்தபோது ஒரு இளம் வழக்கறிஞர் சொன்னார், சித்திரமும் கைப்பழக்கும் செந்தமிழும் நாப்பழக்கம், ஐயா தமிழ் தன்னால வளர்ந்துடும், தயவு செய்து உண்ணாவிரதம் திருப்பார். தம்பி, உண்ணாவிரதத்து உடல் வருத்தி நீ திருப்ப மாதிரி சாகத்தில் பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை. நீ தமிழை வளர்க்கணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டீங்கன்னா தமிழ் மொழியை காப்பதற்கு உண்டான வழியை கண்டு மொழியை வளர்ப்பதற்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது, வாய்க்கால் இருக்கிறது, வசதிகள் இருக்கிறது. மொழிக்கு இந்த மொழி ஏற்கனவே வளர்ந்த மொழி, ஏற்கனவே வளர்ந்த மொழி, அதில் ஒரு கஷ்டமும் கிடையாது. என்ன பிரச்சனை ஆகி போச்சு? அந்த காலத்தில எல்லாம் அரசியல் இருந்தவன் ராஜா என்ன பண்ணா, மொழிக்காக பதவியை தொடர்ந்து மொழியை காப்பாற்றி இலக்கியம் எழுதலாம், வந்து சிலப்பதிகாரத்தை எழுதலாம். முதலமைச்சராக இருக்கிறவன் வேண்டாண்டா இந்த பதவியெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு உட்கார்ந்து புத்தகம் ஆன்மீக புத்தகம் எழுதலாம். சேக்கிழார் அமைச்சராக இருந்தாலே வேண்டாம் நான் எழுதுறேன், இந்த பெரிய புராணம் அள்ளி கொடுத்தார், பெரிய புராணத்தில் இல்லாத சட்ட சொற்களே கிடையாது என்று சொல்லலாம். அவ்வளவு அற்புதமான அவனும் பதவியை விட்டுட்டு தமிழ் மொழிக்கு பாடுபட்டான். இன்னைக்கு உள்டா, வேற ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. தயவுசெய்து நான் என்னுடைய ஆதங்கத்தை சொல்கிறேன், அரசியல் அல்ல. தயவுசெய்து நீங்கள் இதை புரிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டாம். இது என்னுடைய ஆதங்கம். ஏனென்றால் தமிழிலே ஒரு அற்புதமான புத்தகம் எழுதப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. பெரும் கடமை கஷ்டத்தோடு கடமை உணர்வோடு எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள். இதற்கு காரணம் இங்கே இருக்கின்ற நண்பர்கள். இவர்கள் எல்லாம் பாராட்டுக்குரியவர்கள். நமக்கு 2 விஷயங்களை இன்று கண்ணை திறந்திருக்கிறார்கள் என்று சொல்லலாம். நீதித்துறை பல நேரங்களிலே பல விதங்களிலே விரட்டப்படுகிறது. ஆனால் அம்மையாரை போன்றவர்கள் அதை நிமிர்ந்த நெஞ்சோடு நேர்கொண்ட பார்வையோடு துணிவாக எதிர்கொள்கிறார்கள். அதனால்தான் நீதித்துறையை மக்கள் நம்புகிறார்கள். கடைசி நீதிபதி துணிவோடு இருக்கின்றவரை பொதுமக்களுக்கு இந்த நீதித்துறை மீது நம்பிக்கை இருக்கும். எனவே நண்பர்களே, அத்தகைய நீதிபதிகளை நீங்கள் கௌரவிக்க வேண்டும். இன்றைக்கு நம்முடைய பங்காக மிருதுளா பட்கர் அவர்களை வரவேற்றிருக்கின்றோம், கௌரவித்திருக்கின்றோம். இதில் பங்கேற்ற உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி.
மிக்க நன்றி நீதியரசர் அவர்களே. Now the time has come for what we are waiting. That is the acceptance speech by our chief guest, Honorable Mrs. Mridula Bhatkar. former judge of High Court of Bombay. Please service.
Justice General, Justice Felicitation, Justice Mridula, my brother Judge Prakash, Justice Basha, Mr. Bhatkar, Amarraj, Alliance Publisher Mr. Srinivasan, my friends, Bhatkar. இந்த மரியாதைக்கு உரிய மக்களுக்கு முன்னால் நிற்பதால் எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா long live languages. I could understand something after this erroneous speech of my brother, Mr. Judicial, only because of my brother Anand Felicitation. He translated something for me. This is a problem in Maharashtra also. We all have to strive and work on our regional languages. And in fact, there is a constitution also says about the regional languages are to be preserved. Translation is that form of literature which transforms everything and changes nothing. That is the beauty of translation. Nelson Mandela has said, if you speak with a person in the language he understands, it goes to his head. But if you speak in his language, he receives from the heart. When I wrote the book, first I wrote it in English, but thereafter I realized that all over Maharashtra there are many fans of Ramesh, audience of Ramesh, and they were confused what happened. Maybe having the conviction also wrong. Oh, unfortunately he has done some wrong. So I thought that whatever I have said in English, I must translate it in Marathi, that is my mother tongue, so that the people in my state will be able to understand the system and what happens in the system. Brother Prakash, when he asked me that he wanted to translate in Tamil, I was honored. I was very happy. Tamil is one of the 6 classic languages it has a status of classic languages. And therefore, I say that it is my great honor, big honor, when I saw my book translated in Tamil. Friends, when I retired and I fell sick, I was so bad shape, I was just like vegetable, and I didn't understand that what was happening to me. I went to a doctor, my physician told me to go for many tests. I did. When I went to him again, he told me that your all reports are good, normal, you are fit. But you don't need physician. You need a psychiatrist because you are on the first step of depression. And then, those words, it was a big blow to me because I believe in strong mind. I believe that a person, a human being, has a good reasoning power, a logical thinking we have, then why we cannot or I cannot fight against this depression? I introspected and I realized that there was something very deep in me which wanted to come out, and I am continuously suppressing it. And I was suppressing it because it was not correct, it was not proper. But what was necessary for me to maintain silence, need to be poised. That is what was expected, so I did it. I did it for many long years, and then suddenly after my retirement, I found that no, I must come out. Whatever is there deep, it should come out. It's a largest democracy where we live. I believe, and I always believe, in people's participation in the democracy. If you want people's participation in democracy in true sense, educate them. Educate them in true sense. And therefore, I felt that I have some story, and that story I don't want anybody's sympathy, but that story is such that it will teach something about the system. It will teach my young generation lawyers and judges, so also a common man, that if you are sincere, honest, and you have conscience, if at all that conscience is there with you, then you can fight. You can very well fight, and so I said no, I must write. My brothers, my colleagues, I mean, and my relatives also, when they came to know that I started writing this book, they told me that why want to? It is, you are again jumping in a mud. Again that history will be repeated in this manner, that manner. Again people will talk, they will again raise fingers on you. And then why you want to? It's all subsided. Let it be like that. Friends, I always believe in people. I believe in people. I believe maturity of the people. And I thought that if you take people in confidence, they understand. If you tell them the truth, they will appreciate. It is said in Sanskrit, Satyam Riyad, Priyam Riyad, Apriyam Satyam, Na Riyad. I believe Priyam Riyad, Satyam Riyad, Apriyam Satyam Cha Riyad, whenever it is required. And so I decided to write, and I wrote it in English and then translated in Marathi. I also, my publisher, Grandhali, we thought that we should make this book in Braille. So we published in few copies in Braille. When I got book in Braille, I just wanted to read that book in Braille, and I was very happy. The book was in 2 volumes, huge, and just I opened, and I realized I was blind because I couldn't read a single word. It is all white paper with some 4 to 10 dots. That is a braille. And I said, oh, it's like that. And then that our professor, Sanjay Jain, who was our principal in charge of my college, ILS Law College. He sent that book to Felicitation, and that book is kept read in the Supreme Court library. So, and this is translated in Tamil. This languages, that is the really beauty of the languages, all the languages. Of course, we have different languages at various places, but still, that is what is said, that the words travel worlds, they just go on, because though everything is different, something, but still, what is said, our country is a country where there is a diversity, but there is a unity in diversity. I have lot of to say I have, but I want you all to read the book. The book should reach to the common man, which is important. They must understand what is the life of not only judges, but our judiciary is how they are functioning efficiently, keeping themselves impartial and real last resort for the common man. But the translation is such a thing. I always feel that translation, because of translation, the borders they turn into gateways, and many silences become vocal, and that is what the beauty of the translation is. When Justice Prakash, he sent me a dummy of this book. I opened and I was really in tears, brother. And I felt that though our languages are different, still our our values have thoughts, emotions, they are same everywhere. And it is the best example, I look at it as a best example of a strong bonding of our judicial fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Mr. Srinivasan to deliver vote of thanks.
Before giving vote of thanks, I must say a few words, because Justice Judicial has revealed about the dictionary of legal words. இதை நான் ஒரு பெருமைக்காக சொல்லலை. என் கம்பெனி 125 வருஷமா இருக்கு. 1908 வரைக்கும் என்னோட கிராண்ட் ஃபாதர் விவேக போதுமின்னு ஒரு மேகசின் எடுத்திருந்தார். அந்த காலத்திலே அது புதுமையாக பேசப்பட்ட ஒரு பத்திரிகை, மாதாந்த பத்திரிகை. அதுல ஒவ்வொரு பத்திரிகையிலும் தமிழில் விஞ்ஞான சொற்கள், தமிழில் சட்ட சொற்கள், இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் எங்க கிராண்ட் ஃபாதர் அப்பவே அதில் போட்டார். இப்போ லாஸ்ட் 2 years I have been working for making a very big dictionary for legal words. அதுக்கு உங்களோட உதவி எனக்கு கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா definitely the Alliance company is ready to bring out that book in a grand manner. This is for Next, the author of this book, Justice Mridula Bhatkar, the translation பத்தியும் அதோட அழகை பத்தியும் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்துச்சு. ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னாங்க, இது ஒரு லைட் பெயின்ல தான் சொல்றேன், டிப்ரெஷன் அப்படின்ற வார்த்தையை சொன்னாங்க. டாக்டர் மன்மோகன் சிங் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டரா இருந்துச்சு, அவரோட அட்வைசரா இருந்தார். அவர் ஒரு புக், அது எல்லா லாங்குவேஜஸ்லயும் வந்து தமிழ்ல நம்ம பண்ணோம், தெரியல ரிசர்ச். அதுல அவர் எழுதின he is in the state of deep depression அப்படின்ற ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் சொல்லுவாங்க. அதை டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணவர் என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு, அவன் மனநிலையில் அப்பொழுது ஒரு தீவிர காற்றழுத்த தாழ்வு மண்டலம். இது மாதிரி ஒன்று இல்லை ரெண்டு. ஆர்கனெக்ட்ராமன் ஒரு புக் எழுதினார், மை பிரசிடென்ஷியல் இயர்ஸ். அதை தமிழ் நான் கொண்டு வச்சேன். அவர் எழுதினார் நியூக்ளியர் ப்ரொபெல்ட் சப்மரைன் அப்படின்னு வரும். அது தமிழ் எழுதினார் அணுசக்தி காற்றாலை நீர்மூழ்கி கப்பல். இந்த மாதிரி டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன்லயே அவர் தங்கள் நிறைய டிக்ஷனரியை காயப்பட்டு we must be very careful in translating the words into other language. And the particular word அது எந்த லாங்குவேஜ்ல இருக்கு, லாட்டினா, கிரீக்கா, இங்கிலீஷ், அது ரூட்ல போனோம். ரூட்ல போய் அதுக்கு என்ன மீனிங் அதை கண்டுபிடிச்சு அதுக்கு ஈக்குவலா நம்மளுக்கு தமிழ்ல கொண்டு வந்தோம்னா it will be a great success. Definitely, as said by Justice Jayachandran, very soon with the help of you people, I think we can able to do that thing. Now I come to vote of thanks. First of all, I must thank Justice Mridula Bhatkar for having written this book, because this is not just a book, it's a document. It will be useful for all lawyers and also for the legal students. Now she has written this book. Tomorrow, however, we are not certain. We all are not certain, but the book is certain. It will be in the library. After 50 years, some student may take this book and read. Oh, what a brave lady that Mridula Bhatkar. I should be like that. Now, I humbly request all these judges to write a book after their retirement. Let it be a lesson for future students and also fellow lawyers. It's my request, and the Alliance Company is ready to publish all those books. Don't have to take much of your time. I must thank Mr. Amalraj, Justice Jayachandran, Justice Prakash, Justice Prabhakar, Justice Mridula Bhatkar. நான் ஏன் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ஆனந்த் வெங்கடேஷ் பேரை விட்டு நீங்க யோசிக்கலாம். கடவுளுக்கே நன்றி சொல்லணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு சீஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸே சொல்லிட்டாரு. இருந்தால் நானும் நன்றி சொல்கிறேன் அவருக்கு. நன்றி, வணக்கம். தேங்க்யூ ஆல்.
Thank you. And now this is the time for national anthem. I request all the rest.